Fne. Okay.
Okay.
I think I'm in the zone.
I think we're there.
What's up, guys? Welcome to another episode of Garden of Creation. Now, today I've got a really special one for you guys. I've got one of my really good friends. He's a phenomenal guitarist, phenomenal producer, he's an audio engineer, songwriter, master skater, master talker, master lover, master doing the splits. He's the multi-talented, the one and only Wesley Nuis.
Whoa. Wow. Yeah, I guess that's me, man. Yeah.
Yeah, so actually Wesley is, as I said, a really good friend of mine. We met quite a few years ago working on a track for, was it John Tarifa?
I think so, yeah.
Yeah, we were in studio and immediately we had such a great vibe, so we just kept in contact, and over the years we've been doing a lot of different things together. Today I got this guy in the studio and he's going to be performing a little something for you guys. A little more on that later. What I want to do now is actually want to dive into your story, good sir, because I think you have a really interesting story and I think you have a lot of knowledge for the people out there that you can share.
All right.
So, Wesley Nuis.
Yeah, where do you want the story to start?
Well, actually, I want to know about like your early life, man, because have you always been interested in music? Because you're doing music at like a extremely high level at the moment, so...
Yeah, all right. So actually, I started making music when I was 11. Oh, actually, just playing guitar, because there was something on the closet in my room, and it was packed, like wrapped. And I asked my parents, like, so what's in there? And my dad says, yeah, it's a guitar. I'm like, oh, okay. And he actually bought it for my brother, who was already not living in the house anymore. So when he would visit us, then he could play guitar if he wanted to, but he never did. So it was just laying there. And then my parents said, like, yeah, just go and try and take lessons, see what you think. And I immediately like fell in love with the instrument, like there's sound coming out and you can influence that and the sound is cool. I don't know, this is just how it started. And then with guitar class, you got like a book. What do you call it? Like a...
I don't even know what you call it. It's like a cheat sheet with all the chords.
Yeah, exactly. So I just started doing that, and my teacher said, like, I was in a group, and he said, like, okay, so for next week you do the first 3 pages. I'm like, okay, I'm gonna do the whole book. So I think in like maybe instead of 2 months, I did it in 2 weeks or something. The whole book, I was like.
For those of you who know this guy, that sounds 100% right.
Yeah, not because I'm really good at it already, but just I really wanted to find out how it works, So I just wanted to make big steps or just learn a lot. And then my mom said to my guitar teacher, like, yeah, so he is like slaying those books and it's a lot of money actually. So can't you give him something that he can work on for a longer time? And then he gave me this book, like this big, with all Spanish classical songs, it's really difficult, and I never finished that book.
Okay.
I'm still, until this day, I'm still working on finishing that book. Actually, yeah, man. So that's where music started. But I started sports actually when I was since I was 7. So I started with karate, and I did all kinds of things. So from ice skating, just inline skating, street hockey. I did that for a while also, and just a lot of sports. Dancing, style dance, ballroom and Latin dancing.
Oh, well, I didn't know that.
Yeah, I did that for about, maybe 7 years or so. Yeah, so I did a lot.
Yeah.
But then by the age of, actually when I was 16, I wasn't doing great at school because I wasn't really interested in school. And when I was 16, I thought, okay, maybe I could go to conservatory. So I went to the Dutch, the Hague Conservatory, where there's classical and jazz, I think. And I asked at the desk, like, what do I need to do to get here?
Yeah.
And they gave me 2 papers, like, here, everything's on here, on this. And I looked at it, I'm like, I will never be able to do this, So I was like, okay, whatever. And then, obviously I tried to finish school. Didn't really work, and then had a year of not going to school. There I went to Indonesia for the first time actually, went to visit my family, and I had some kind of a culture shock over there. And at one point, I was in a car, and then some kids came at the window. So I opened the window, and they were asking for money. And I was like, whoa, this is weird. I've never seen this in the Netherlands before. And then when we drove away, I saw that the kids were not keeping the money, but they were giving the money to someone who was on the sidewalk. So like a guy, like they were working for the guy, you know? And then it got me thinking, like, okay, so I live in the Netherlands, like in a country where if you wanna, there are more options, you know? If you wanna do something, then there are more options to achieve goals. Those goals. So then I thought, like, yeah, I actually just want to be a musician. I really want to do that. And then I was like, okay, I'm just gonna really do that. And then I applied for a lot of actually every conservatory in the Netherlands. I didn't get in anywhere.
Okay, surprise.
Yeah, not even invited. Like the demo was not good enough, I guess. And then there was one school, actually, one conservatory. I got a letter from them after the demo, and they said, like, unfortunately, you're not enrolled for the audition, and we would advise you not to try again. I'm like, whoa, what's this? You know, I was like, what? And then in that same year, there was not like a conservatory, but it's like a MBO. In the Netherlands, you have MBO. So I auditioned over there, and I got in there. So I finished that one. It was like 4 years. And then last year, I auditioned for some conservatories again, because I wanted to study. And then I also sent my demo and everything to that same school where I got that letter from. But by then, you had to pay €100 to do the audition.
Wow.
It was the only school.
I didn't know that,
Yeah. I was like, okay, I'm like a poor student, but I'm gonna pay the $100. And then I went there, and first audition, I got invited, and then first time I went there, so because you have to do 2 or 3 rounds in total.
Yeah.
First round, I get called in the afternoon already. They're like, we don't usually do this, but congratulations, you are in. I'm like, oh, okay, thank you. Well, I just auditioned to tell you that I thought the letter was crap and it was not so nice. And of course, I'm not going to go to school at your at your location.
Can somebody call the ER? We got 3rd-degree burns up in here.
I'm like, yeah, shots fired. I really wanted to do that. I needed that. And then and I went to a different school. And then when I was at the conservatory, I played with an act, a rap act, that actually got invited for the Pink Pop main stage. So that was after 5 years or something. I got that goal. I was like, whoa, that's really cool. Yeah, and then I just, during conservatory, I started my session musician life. But also at MBO, I got into a rockabilly band. It was actually for a school project, but then it got picked up by a booking agency and everything. It got quite big. We did Holland's Got Talent here, got in the finals. I think we came second. Wow. So I had my, like, so to say, own project, but then also session musician life, which I really wanted. And then I was like, I don't know if is this really for me? I don't know. And then I thought, I think it would be better for me to have one project that I really believe in, and that is like more mine or something. So I decided to go for that rockabilly act. In total, we did that for 10 years. But then, and in the meanwhile, I was also still playing with some other acts if I really liked it.
Yeah.
And then, yeah, I think in that time, yeah, I played with, for instance, 2 Unlimited. I did some other projects, but mostly the rockabilly act. Okay. And then I thought, like, okay, is this really what I want now? Because I did feel like I got, like, the band was built on rockabilly music, and it was also covers. So it didn't feel like I could express myself totally.
I get you.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So yeah, I thought about it, and eventually decided to quit that act, and then, yeah, just keep all options open. And then there was one project, so one singer it's called Davina Michelle, who was like going up. Is that how I say it in English?
Up and coming, on the
Up,
rise.
yeah. And then her group, some guys of them I knew already. They asked me like, would you be interested in this project? And then I listened to it. I was like, this is what I am looking for. Because I told my girlfriend actually, like, I don't want to play for other people anymore, unless they're like from American Perfection. That's how I called it. Yeah. And then by that I mean like shows, like Lady Gaga shows, Beyonce shows, Justin Timberlake shows. Yeah. Those shows are like so professional and so detailed.
True,
you know?
True.
They look at everything.
Yeah, not just in the quality of the music, but the entire...
The whole show. Yeah. So I really want to be able to express myself. Yeah. In any way I would like it. So of course music, but also the moving, but also the clothing, everything. Yeah. And that was actually what they were looking for with Davina. So someone who can be his own character. Yeah. So I thought like, okay, let's just jump right into it. I was actually working on like an education product to, so let's say teach the teacher in giving music lessons and dancing lessons. Okay. I was in the middle of that, and then this came along, and I was like, okay, you know what? Just put everything in the fridge. We're gonna go for this. And now we're I think 6 years. It's been 6 years ago or something. Same. Yeah. And then from there on, yeah, of course, put a lot of time in that project in terms of playing and such. And then I was like, I've been focusing on playing guitar so long, whilst actually I like so many other stuff. Yeah. So as you said, like, you know, I like skating, guitar I like, but dancing I like, clothing I like, educating I like, you know, I like so much, or droning. Yeah. You know, so I was like, you know what? It's like a bucket full of options that I had. I'm just gonna do this. Just do everything, you know. It's on one big pile. I'm just, every time when I have time, I take one thing of the pile and just try to develop that. Yeah. You know. Yeah. So that's actually that's like the journey, I think.
That's wild, man. That's wild. No, but I mean, it's phenomenal, man. The first time I heard you play as well, I was like, shit, this guy's got. It's not only like the skill behind the guitar, but it's like the whole character of the person. You know, you're like, you do stand out when you're performing, because you sitting here and us having this conversation, it's like Wesley, the tamed, calm Wesley, and then seeing you on stage is like, okay, that's full Wesley, like it's full beast mode on stage, going crazy, shredding well in the splits, which I don't know physically. That I'm like, how does the math add up? Like the physics, the angle, you know, in a right angle triangle, where's his legs squared up? You know, I don't understand how you are able to just keep your intonation well in that position, you know, because I'm sweating for you when I see you like that. It's just impressive, man.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, I am. I did think about it. Like that's the way I am. Like I'm quite an analytic person. So I want to know how things work, and I then want to be able to do it. Yeah. So for instance, that example, like there's one point in the show where where the climax is already almost like the energy is high, and then we top it off with like an outro from the song that's like in some kind of a guitar solo way. Okay. And then it just gets higher and higher and higher in terms of energy, and then at the end I'm like going higher and higher and higher, going on the last fret. So a regular guitar has 22 frets, and then but I have to play an E. So an E is on the 24th fret, so which means I have to bend it up 2 notes. So I'm on the highest fret, bending it up 2 notes, and then I'm going into the split.
Yeah, make it easy for yourself.
Because I'm not really totally touching the ground.
Yeah, I mean, it's like, he's literally like that far from the ground. Like, barely not even put my finger on.
But I did think about it, like, okay, so how can I be able to really achieve this? So it's actually all in keeping everything tight, but also having the relaxed how do you say that? Like the relaxed movements,
Yeah.
to be able to do the relaxed movements while being tight in your whole body. That's actually where what I learned from karate.
I was just gonna say now, you know, this we were having this conversation earlier about how these different skills overlap and eventually come together. You know?
Exactly. So that's where it comes from. So that's really interesting, because with guitar you have to be relaxed here, of course, you know, because when people start playing guitar, they have their elbow at their body, and because they want to like
You wanna
hold it
squeeze
really,
yeah.
whilst actually you need to be really relaxed.
True.
But then if the rest of your body needs to be tight, you know, or else you'll go face first, you know.
Yeah.
So sometimes like, okay, if I fall forward now,
Some great content.
I'm done, man. Yeah. I'm going viral. Yeah, I should do it.
We just touched on how many different things you've got your toes in now, like you're doing the karate, you're doing the music, fashion. Do you have any other projects that you are bringing out?
Yeah, so I'm actually working with you on an online academy where I want to bring out courses that are meant for the Dutch guitar player who are on their way of becoming pro or already pro and want more depth in certain kind of things. And those things are actually, I don't really talk about playing the guitar itself. For instance, the first course is coming out about stage performance, where I'm gonna tell about, well, my journey. Like I've been doing this for like I think 20 years or something. I'm being on stage, and it's been a journey for me to learn to express myself on stage. What we just been talking about, and I thought like, I've never learned that from anyway. It's just it's experience, you know. So I wanted to put that experience like in a course, and give people the chance to learn it in that kind of way.
True, yeah, the chance, the opportunity to really, I mean, I don't really know of any other courses that have this kind of subject matter.
Yeah.
I know for singers a little bit, but also not really for stage presence.
Yeah.
It has a lot more to do with like the performing aspect of it, you know, like how you're going to sing, how you stand. And,
exactly.
You know,
so how I see it, it's all about, for one, knowing what your story is, what you want to express, because if you don't know what you want to express, then there's nothing. So that's where it starts. But then also like, okay, so how does your body move? It's different for everyone. Everyone moves in a certain kind of way, in its own kind of way, and also where do you get the move from? Like how can you get inspiration, or how can you feel safe to express yourself in that kind of matter? But then also like I think clothing is a big thing, you know. But also like things like focus, like how can you stay focused during the gig while doing the stage performance and playing? How can you, if you get out of focus, get into focus again? How does that work internally?
True.
Because when you look at someone playing, you don't see what's happening here. But this is really interesting. And then also how can you jump around the stage while still playing nice, you know, like that balance.
That's a skill right there, man.
That's those kind of things, you know. And then also actually doing it. That's also what I discuss in the course. Like, okay, so we're talking about it, but how can you bring this to your own stage? To your own show. So those things, those are in the course. It's really cool. Yeah, it's coming out soon, and also that's also what we filmed. I wanted to make a skate course, an inline skating course, and specifically about breaking, because well, one, I really like breaking actually, but also I thought like, so when I first started skating, I was like, okay, I can skate really well, but I'm actually kind of afraid of skating. So, and why is that? Yeah, it's obviously because I could not break. You know. So I wanted to learn breaking, and then so now I was like, okay, let's give people the opportunity. That's the word what I was looking for earlier. To if they cannot break yet, then they can learn how to break.
Yeah.
But then if they can break already, we could look at other options that you can maybe break faster or in different kind of ways.
True, yeah.
So that's what I'm doing right now, actually.
Nice. And if you guys want to follow Wesley on his social media, I'm going to be putting all the links in the description and on screen. So you can find out more about those courses, which are insanely comprehensive. He's got a well of knowledge in there. So I would definitely go and check that out.
Cool, man.
So now it brings us to the fun part of the show. I mean, I'm sure everything's fun. Talking to this guy is always fun. But for you guys, you're going to enjoy this this next part. Wesley joined us today in the studio, and he's graced us with his own reimagining of training season.
Oh yeah.
It's a sick one. So take it away, Wes. And there you have it. How was that? Was that not absolutely the most amazing thing you've ever heard? Wesley Nuis, ladies and gentlemen. Please follow this epic dude on all his social media channels. I'm going to put them in the description and on screen. Make sure to follow him, hit him with a love, hit him with a like, and check the courses out coming out soon.
You're really good at this, man. Holy crap.